Reading is an important common denominator many of the biggest names in business have. It's also a fast way to acquire new information. If you are new to this channel, subscribe for more videos like this. If you have already subscribed, welcome back. Here are 15 most influential business books. Number 1. Business Adventures by John Brooks. Business Adventures will teach you how to run a company, invest in the stock market, change jobs, and many other things by sharing some of the most interesting experiences that big companies and their leaders have had over the last century. The three-day stock market crash and recovery of 1962 showed the world how irrational and unpredictable it is. If you want to know how not to launch a product, look to the example of the Ford Edsel. Having trade secrets doesn't make it impossible for you to get a new job, thanks to Donald Woldgemuth. Number 2. Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. The Intelligent Investor explains value investing, which is focused on generating steady, long-term profits by ignoring the current market and picking companies with high intrinsic value. Coming from poverty, he became an excellent student at Columbia and upon graduation, started his investing career with a job on Wall Street. He wrote down his investing principles in 1949 inside The Intelligent Investor, which Warren Buffett calls the best book on investing ever written. Number 3. The Innovators Dilemma by Clayton M. Christensen. The Innovators Dilemma is a business classic that explains the power of disruption, why market leaders are often set up to fail as technologies and industries change, and what incumbents can do to secure their market leadership for a long time. Steve Jobs said The Innovators Dilemma had deeply influenced him. There weren't many books Steve referenced throughout the interviews with his biographer, let alone business books. Number 4. The Outsiders by William N. Thorndike. This book includes the stories of 8 extraordinary CEOs who ignored or defied the conventional wisdom of their time and applied a common set of principles to achieve remarkable and enduring success. This title helps us learn the consistent and rational traits that help these select leaders to achieve that exceptional performance. Number 5. Factfulness by Anna Rosling Ronland, Hans Rosling, and Ola Rosling. Factfulness explains how our worldview has been distorted with the rise of new media, which 10 human instincts cause erroneous thinking, and how we can learn to separate fact from fiction when forming our opinions. It's no wonder, then, that Factfulness is another one of Bill Gates' favorite. Written by the Swedish, late professor, sword swallower, and public speaker Hans Rosling, it's a book about the current state of the world. But beyond giving us the facts, it helps us see them for ourselves by diving into 10 mental biases that obstruct our thinking. Number 6. Blue Ocean Shift by W. Chan Kim and Renee A. Mauborgne. This book guides you through the steps to beating out your competition by creating new markets that aren't overcrowded. Just like hungry sharks make the water around them red, companies in overcrowded markets have a hard time competing. But what if you could get into a brand new niche that wasn't so busy? This is called a blue ocean, and it's what Chan Kim and Renee Mauborgne's Blue Ocean strategy. With this new vision of how to get away from the competition, your company will thrive. And this book will teach you all of the steps to get there. Number 7. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book teaches you countless principles to become a likable person, handle your relationships well, win others over, and help them change their behavior without being intrusive. This book has surely shaped behavioral psychology the way we know it today, as it reads like an instruction manual on how you can be more liked by others, get them to do favors for you, and even change their behavior under your influence. However, none of it is based on manipulation and deceit. Dale Carnegie does it all based on the core idea that you can change other people's behavior simply by changing your own. Number 8. Bad Blood by John Carreyrou. This book covers the story of how Elizabeth Holmes promised the world a medical miracle that actually operated on deception and lies. It's one thing to shell out $50, then realize you made a mistake. But how would you feel if you had invested millions of dollars into a device that promised to change the world, only to discover it was virtually useless? This is precisely what happened to many otherwise savvy investors, as you'll see in the story of Bad Blood. Secrets and Lies in a Silicon Valley Startup. Many venture capitalists bought into the revolutionary blood analysis device that Elizabeth Holmes and her startup company, Theranos, created. They all thought it was their ticket to fame and fortune. Unfortunately for them, what sounded too good to be true actually was. Number 9. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The Art of War has been considered the definitive text on military strategy and warfare ever since being written in ancient China around 500 BC, inspiring businesses, athletes, and of course generals to beat their opponents in competition the right way until today. The Art of War is the most influential strategy text in all of East Asia. It is divided into 13 chapters, each dedicated to a different aspect of warfare. The reason it's been so popular all around the world is that most of the lessons can be translated directly to other competitive fields like sports or business. In order to make it more actionable, we'll look at it in a business context. Number 10. Start with Why by Simon Sinek's. Simon Sinek's mission to help others do work, which inspires them, and uses real-world examples of great leaders to show you how they communicate and how you can adapt their mindset to inspire others yourself. The reason his mantra is so magnetic is that it's incredibly simple, yet very universal. Many of history's most inspiring leaders seem to have internalized his idea of the golden circle and communicated the right way. Number 11. Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. This book explains the importance of emotions in your life, how they help and hurt your ability to navigate the world, followed by practical advice on how to improve your own emotional intelligence and why that is the key to leading a successful life. Goleman explains how two separate minds live in our brains, one rational and one emotional, and why the 5 key skills making up your emotional literacy are actually a much bigger predictor of happiness and success than the capacity by which we usually measure it. Number 12. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is a curation of the 13 most common habits of wealthy and successful people, distilled from studying over 500 individuals over the course of 20 years. Hill spent the majority of his life studying successful people and their habits, and the 13 most prevalent ones are the ones he shares in this book. Number 13. Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg digs deep into gender inequality and why women are still underrepresented as a valuable part of our global workforce, showing how they unintentionally hold themselves back, as well as outlining ways for us to enable and support them, including how you as a woman can take the lead and hold the flag of women in work high. Number 14. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey teaches you both personal and professional effectiveness by changing your view of how the world works and giving you 7 habits, which, if adopted well, will lead you to immense success. The first 3 serve your own independence so that you may win in private, as Covey put it. The second 3 aim to shift your focus to interdependence. When you strive for cooperation instead of competition, you'll also win in public and find worldly success. The last habit serves your own renewal so that you'll never burn out or overextend yourself. Number 15. Daring Greatly by Brené Brown is a book about having the courage to be vulnerable in a world where everyone wants to appear strong, confident, and like they know what they're doing. This book, one of her 3 New York Times bestsellers, explains how vulnerability is at the core of all feelings, not just bad ones like fear, anxiety, and shame, but also good ones like love, joy, and passion. She says that we could all use a little more vulnerability in our lives because it's neither bad nor good. It just is, and embracing it means being courageous. Make sure to take notes, and thanks for watching.